welcome. I'm Lindsay from Mystic Haven Acres, and this is my podcast, Living for Real. Thanks for joining me. I'm here to share my experiences as someone who never quite fit in and shed some light on life's simple and not so simple things. A single mama, born and raised in the GTA, now living a peaceful rural homesteading life with my kids and critters, and I can't wait to share with you some of the magic I have learned along the way. I pride myself in real living, real food, real conversations, and real experiences. So leave your preconceived notions at the door and buckle up. This free spirit is about to take you for an interesting ride. Hey, welcome back to episode 2. Perhaps I should have made this episode 1, but I feel like maybe getting to know me, your host, a little better was a better place to start. And so now I'd like to tell you a little bit about the podcast itself, how it came about, and some interesting snippets about the process. So after trying on what felt like a million names, I chose this one, Living for Real. Mainly because it feels like the core of so many things that I want to discuss. I guess it may have partially been inspired by my Mennonite neighbors to a degree, because watching, interacting, and chatting with them over the past few years has been a really eye-opening experience. I think we can learn a lot when we open our minds to things. And I have watched the Mennonite families in our community work hard, really hard, and work together. I have also witnessed their positive attitudes, their simple yet not easy ways, their dedication, and their determination. When we moved here, they were so very welcoming and eager to help. And I actually remember one of my neighbors coming to meet us, and she came to the door and she gave me the biggest hug, and it was just so sweet. A really beautiful experience and just a really nice sense of community. There are so many people that look at the Mennonite communities and can't understand why they choose to live the lives that they do and the way that they do, without so many conveniences of modern day living. I wish more people could experience and witness what I have witnessed. And perhaps they might see things differently. I know I certainly do. I will probably dive into this another day, but to sum up, their contentment in a simple life with simple wares emits to me a definite sense of realness. So many people seem to be on the authentic bus these days, and I think it's great in theory. At the end of the day, it would be really nice if we could all let down our guards even just a little and just be real, to not feel like we need to look or act a certain way to be accepted by society. Bring on the filters. I'm really looking forward to diving into this topic of realness on so many different levels in coming episodes. But for now, I just want to say how easy it is to get caught up in all of the things. So this is not about guilting or shaming, but raising awareness and having conversations. I have had my own struggles with realness and being real over the span of my life so far, and I expect I will experience it again in the future. Heck, I struggled with it even when I was developing the graphic for this podcast. I was going through so many of my photos trying to find one that was fitting, and though I have a ton of wonderful photos that I could have used, I had this inner conflict that I was dealing with. You see, for a number of years after my divorce, I wasn't in a very good place. And like so many of us, I was trying to feel better. So one way I tried to boost my self-esteem was by modeling for local photographers who wanted to expand their creative portfolios. It was a fun opportunity for me to dress up and look nice that didn't cost me any money, which was tight at the time. And it provided me a little bit of me time, and I hoped a boost in confidence as well. Which sometimes it helped, And other times it backfired and made me actually feel worse, particularly when people ridiculed me for what I was doing. And there are always going to be those people. So what am I getting at here? Well, it felt hypocritical to me to use a photo of myself in a not natural state, made up, dressed up, posed, when I was basing my podcast around being real. And of course, you are welcome to your opinions, but that was the internal battle that I was having with myself. And so I chose the photo that you see today, which is actually me, taken by a friend in the mountains of Montana. The wonderful women that have helped me get this podcast off the ground were shocked when I told them that the photo was not a stock photo, as they had suspected, but one of me. And it couldn't be more fitting. I will definitely be diving into my Montana adventures another day because they contributed so much to my growth, and I love sharing the experiences with others. I think it's interesting how in some ways we have evolved and progressed in leaps and bounds, and yet in others we have become so detached and disillusioned, and I feel we have really done a disservice to the human race. We live in an age of ease and convenience, automation and instant gratification, which feeds our very commercialized, materialistic, fast-paced world. But at what cost? And I'm definitely not talking dollars. But with record high levels of mental ailments, I think it's more important now than ever to step back, slow down, and reevaluate what's really important in life. Because we really have to wonder why so many people feel so lost, empty, and unfulfilled. Why are so many people burnt out and depressed? We have so much, but again, at what cost? I mean, what is the point of working 80 hours a week and then never having time or energy to spend with your loved ones? Why do we normalize overworking? I don't see what the point of having it all is if we aren't happy. And do we even know anymore what would actually bring us happiness? What would allow us to feel content? Just some things to ponder. And on that note, I hope my unpoetic ramblings on different areas of life, as well as the sharing of my personal experiences, will shed some light. And I hope at the very least it gets people thinking outside of societal norm boxes and encourages interesting conversation. I look forward to taking you on journeys down unfamiliar paths. And remember, take a moment today to slow down enough to notice something. Marvel in the tiny details. See you next time. Thanks so much for listening in today. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave me a review and share with your friends and family. Be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss upcoming episodes. And thanks again. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.